The little girl's frightened eyes darted across the crowded park. Her tiny hand clung tightly to the sleeve of the man beside her as if letting go would mean losing everything. Then a woman she had never met stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "Kiss me or they'll know." What happened in the next few seconds changed 3 lives forever and exposed a secret that had been hidden for years. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unexpected love, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Compassion Hub for more heart-touching stories that stay with you long after they end. It was a bright spring afternoon, and sunlight poured across the city park like liquid gold. Families laughed near the fountains, children chased pigeons, and musicians filled the air with soft melodies. To everyone around him, Rowan Mercer looked like an ordinary single father spending time with his daughter. But appearances can be deceiving. For 6 years, Rowan had carried a burden that no one knew about. Every morning before sunrise, he worked as a delivery driver. Every evening, he took on odd repair jobs around the city. He rarely slept more than 4 hours a night. Every dollar he earned went toward raising his 8-year-old daughter, Elara. People often praised him for being devoted. What they didn't know was why he worked so desperately. Elara wasn't his biological daughter. Years earlier, during a violent storm, Rowan had found a terrified toddler sitting alone near an abandoned roadside motel. Authorities searched endlessly for her family, but nobody came forward. Months turned into years. Rowan became her foster guardian and eventually her legal parent. The mystery surrounding Elara slowly faded from public memory. But Rowan never stopped searching. Every spare moment was spent following old leads, visiting forgotten towns, and tracking records that led nowhere. He wanted answers for Elara. He wanted her to know where she came from. Yet deep inside, he feared the truth. Because if her real family was ever found, he might lose the little girl who had become his entire world. That afternoon in the park seemed ordinary until Rowan noticed 2 men standing near the entrance. The sight made his stomach tighten. They weren't watching the playground. They were watching Elara. One of them held a photograph. Rowan instantly recognized them from an investigation company he had contacted months ago during his search. But why were they here? Before he could think, a woman walking nearby suddenly noticed his panic. She was tall, elegant, and carried an expression that suggested she understood fear better than most people. Her name was Maris Vale. She glanced at the men, then at Rowan. Something in her eyes changed. Without warning, she stepped close and whispered the words that would alter everything. "Kiss me or they'll know." Before Rowan could respond, she wrapped her arms around him. The gesture was so unexpected that the investigators immediately looked away, assuming they had interrupted a private moment. The distraction worked. The men continued walking. For a brief second, the danger seemed gone. But Elara had noticed everything. Children often understand more than adults realize. She saw the fear in Rowan's face. She saw the tension in Maris's eyes. And she knew something important was happening. After the investigators disappeared, Rowan demanded answers. Maris revealed something shocking. She had recognized one of the men because she had once worked for the same agency. Years earlier, she had been an investigative journalist specializing in missing person cases. While researching old records, she had come across Elara's file. What she discovered haunted her. Someone had deliberately hidden the truth about the little girl's disappearance. The original investigation had been quietly closed despite numerous unanswered questions. Certain documents had vanished. Witness statements had disappeared. And powerful people seemed determined to keep the past buried. For the first time in years, Rowan felt genuine hope. Maybe someone finally knew the truth. Over the following weeks, Rowan and Maris began working together. Their search took them through forgotten archives, abandoned buildings, and distant towns where old memories lingered like ghosts. As they uncovered pieces of the puzzle, their bond deepened. Maris admired Rowan's unwavering devotion. Rowan admired her courage. Neither expected friendship to grow into something more. Yet every shared challenge drew them closer. Meanwhile, Elara watched quietly from the sidelines. For most of her life, she had only known struggle. She had watched Rowan sacrifice everything for her happiness. Seeing someone finally care for him brought a warmth she couldn't explain. Then came the discovery that changed everything. Hidden inside an old storage facility was a collection of records connected to Elara's disappearance. The documents revealed a heartbreaking truth. Elara's biological parents had died in a tragic accident years earlier. Following the accident, a wealthy relative fought for control of the family's inheritance. When legal disputes erupted, Elara became caught in the middle. Someone arranged for her to disappear temporarily. But the plan spiraled out of control. The people responsible lost track of her. Panic followed. Cover-ups followed. And eventually, silence replaced accountability. For years, powerful individuals had hidden the truth to protect themselves. The revelation devastated everyone involved. But the greatest shock came next. The investigators weren't searching for Elara to reunite her with family. They were searching because new legal proceedings threatened to expose the entire cover-up. The same people responsible for hiding the truth wanted control of the story before it became public. Suddenly Rowan understood. The danger had never truly ended. Yet neither had hope. When the case finally reached court, the evidence was overwhelming. Years of deception collapsed. Hidden records surfaced. Witnesses came forward. The truth could no longer remain buried. In a decision that surprised many observers, the judge ruled that Elara's best interests came first. She would remain with the man who had raised her, protected her, and loved her every single day. Rowan. The courtroom fell silent as tears streamed down his face. For years he had feared losing her. Now that fear was finally gone. Outside the courthouse, sunlight filled the streets. Elara ran into Rowan's arms and held him tighter than ever before. She didn't care about inheritance. She didn't care about family names. She knew exactly who her father was. Not because of blood. Because of love. Months later, life looked very different. The struggles were still there, but they no longer faced them alone. Maris became a permanent part of their lives. Their home filled with laughter, warmth, and the kind of peace that once felt impossible. One evening, as golden sunlight streamed through the windows, Rowan watched Elara laughing with Maris in the kitchen. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to believe in happiness. The secret that once threatened to destroy everything had ultimately revealed something far greater. Family isn't always found through birth. Sometimes family is built through sacrifice. Through loyalty. Through courage. And through the people who choose to stay when life becomes difficult. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, leave a comment, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to Compassion Hub so more people can discover stories of hope, compassion, and second chances. Special request: comment below with the words, "Love makes a family," if you believe true family is defined by care and commitment rather than blood alone. As the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, Rowan stood beside the people he loved most. Years of fear had finally given way to peace. And in that quiet moment, he realized something beautiful. Sometimes the greatest secrets don't expose what we've lost. They reveal what we've had all along. And for Rowan, that was everything.